This is Out Loud and Laughing.
What is up, chosen fam? Welcome back. And today we are ditching dry land and the crowded 5,000 person circuit cruises for something a little more intimate. Imagine this: a private catamaran, turquoise water as far as the eye can see, and a crew that actually wants you to be your most authentic and perhaps most unclothed self. Our guest today is the man who turned getting away from it all into a boutique art form. He is a licensed captain, a curator of safe spaces, and the mastermind behind Naughty Daddy Sailing Co. Please welcome the man who makes every port of call feel like home, Captain Bo Bruno. Hey, what's up, Bo?
Hi there. Thank you. I love that introduction.
Of course. We're so happy to have you today.
Yeah, Bo, we're so happy to have you. Like we've been stalking the Naughty Daddy Instagram, and honestly, we're so happy to have you on our pod and ready to pack our bags. You've created this niche that's the complete opposite of the mega cruise experience, right? Your focus is on small groups where, consent is king, and authenticity is the only requirement, right? What was the specific light bulb moment when you realized the gay community just didn't need another vacation kind of company, but they needed something like, what do I want to say, like a sailing sanctuary, I guess?
Well, I guess past experiences would be my answer to that. I've done both kind of the big cruise getaways with all the gays, and I've done the smaller, more intimate kind of trips. And I definitely, personally, I lean a little bit towards more the quieter, adventurous, but just a little bit more kind of personable and one-on-one experience instead of the big groups.
There's so something about that hand-tailored or curated experience, especially when you're traveling, that just feels that much more personal. Looking at your journey, you transitioned from the corporate world and high-end hospitality onto the life of on the water, right? And that's a massive leap of faith. Was there a specific moment or maybe a bad day at a desk or maybe a perfect sunset on a deck where you realized that captain was the only title that you wanted from now on?
There was a specific moment, I would say, in my career. I've always sailed, though. I grew up sailing, so I've always had the passion for sailing in the water. But when I was hired on at the company that I last worked for in residential real estate, the manager or the gentleman that was kind of training me in said he found his passion in real estate, and then he figured out a way to make money with his passion, and that really just stuck with me since that time. And I was with that company for about 10 years, and I left the company, or when I left the company, I literally said that back to him, and he said, "I really wish I wouldn't have told you that, but I wish you all the best." So
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, that's kind of something that stuck with me. And I've always had this passion for the water, and I know my abilities, and I love that I can share these really remote and off the beaten path places with other people.
Can we learn a little bit more about your background? Because you have a passion for water. John and I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, so we do as well. I live outside of New York City now, but I miss the beach and I crave the even just the smell of salt and sand and everything. So you're in DC now. Where did you get the passion for boating and beach and all of that?
Ironically enough, Minnesota is where I grew up. I lived there
Love
up
it.
until, honestly, we just moved here about a year ago, to DC. And I grew up sailing on Lake Superior, so not the tropical warm, beachy climates, but a place that really teaches you how to sail, and you grow a lot of confidence in those waters because it can be a little tumultuous. And I started my first business actually on Lake Superior, doing charters in the Apostle Islands with my own boat in one location. So that's kind of how this whole thing started. And then I kind of opened it up into doing the well, I wanted to be warmer, basically, and I was tired of doing all my trips in the cold waters of Lake Superior. So that's how I started doing the international trips from there.
Since you've been around the world, how many gay captains have you come across? I don't know much about the space. I'd be curious to know if it's something that is prevalent, if it's just not talked about, if it's a very masculine and very hetero space.
Representation matters.
Oh,
Yeah, it does. It really
that's a great
does.
question. I would say yes. The hetero world is definitely dominant in the captain industry. I will say though, most captains are very welcoming, and they're not. It's I guess a pretty liberal leaning group of people. So that's always wonderful. I even experienced that growing up sailing. It's always been a very welcoming liberal group of people in the sailing community. Then specifically in the kind of the gay sailing world, there's a handful of us that do this, but I would say there's more just general sailors that are gay, with just a handful of gay men that actually do this as a profession.
It's so interesting to hear, and thank you because, as John and I talk to more and more professionals and stuff, it's always so interesting to see like how much of our community is leaning into this career. But I do want to, Bo, get into let's get into the naughty details of it all because I do think what's interesting about you is you're a professional sailor, like you're a captain, but your charters are clothing optional, and you've spoken about harboring an environment where people can just truly be themselves. And so for someone who has never been on a clothing optional trip, I think I speak for John and I, how does shedding the swimsuit change the group dynamic, right? Does it actually make people more vulnerable and connected? Or is it just about getting a better tan with no tan lines? And it could be both.
It is both, for sure. It's both. But it does break down those walls. I literally just got back from the U.S. Virgin Islands, and guys on this trip said this exact same thing. Um, they were very nervous to shed their clothes. They've done like speedos and stuff like that, but never fully kind of nude vacationing. And once they did it, and a day or two in, they both of them came up to me and just said, "It is so freeing, but also connecting." Weirdly enough, at the same time, it like tears down the barriers. There's no walls between anybody. Everybody's on the same boat, basically, and it just becomes kind of a bonding experience. I also love that I get groups. I get ages from kind of 30 to 60 is kind of the general age range, and people from all over the world. And that mixing of people from all different places, even inside the US, is really great to see even amongst different ages too. Just everybody chatting and having those different world experiences and those life experiences, and other gays learning from other gays, and seeing that, you know, their bodies are fine and your body is fine and everybody's fine with it, and it's not a thing to be ashamed of, and all of that. It just really opens your eyes, and makes it a wonderful kind of coming together, I guess, experience.
In a world where we are often triggered and dysregulated by all sorts of things, including some of our insecurities around our bodies, I feel that creating safe spaces for people to explore those parts of themselves that sometimes are a little darker or hidden, it's so important. And you can look at it as clothingless excursions, or you can look at it as these completely humbling and healing experiences, which is truly what I believe you're offering. Are there people who come in a little weary and shy, or are they all typically gung ho, ready to drop trowel? Um,
I mean, you always have the kind of voyeuristic type people that are ready to go, and
yeah.
are comfortable and have experienced that already. And you have, a lot of other guys that haven't had those experiences yet, and or newly out, or from, kind of a rural area in the South, or anywhere really. Um, they haven't had those opportunities to fully authentically be themselves. So it's wonderful to watch them kind of shed those layers, and beat to their new drum, I guess, on these excursions. And you see it. I see it every trip, honestly. Some people are already there and they're already comfortable with themselves and in their skin, and have felt that community and that comfort, right? But others haven't, and these little groups, I think, really harbor a safe space for all of that.
And Bo, just for us and our listeners, when you're hosting these trips, are Is it a group coming together, or are a couple of different people, like to your point, signing up and they've never met before, and now they're on this boat and they're all new together?
Yeah, I actually do both kind of scenarios. I do private groups, so a group will come to me and say we've got 6 or 8 people, and then we plan their trip for them. So they always have that built-in level of comfort, amongst their group because it's a private group and they know each other, right? There's also can be some issues with that, right? Because you have a built-in level of comfort with your group, so everybody's open and can be a little catty with each other, where
Yeah,
then I on the other hand I do mixed groups, kind of. I pre-plan trips, and then you can sign up as an individual or as a couple or with a couple friends, and then join another small group of gay men and experience this adventure with more gay men and more open minds, I guess. I think um, uh, I get asked a lot about that specifically and joining just a random group of people. But honestly, those groups become very close very quickly, and they're friends. I've got people that are friends 4 or 5 years later, and trips groups that do reunion meetups every year now, or
love that.
or have done
That's so
now
cool.
2 or 3 trips with me. So yeah, it's really wonderful to build community inside of the gay world. I think something that we're lacking and has been kind of disappearing, um, that gay kind of community in our own safe spaces.
I have to just caveat that Brian was not asking for him and I to go on a private because we're practically related brothers, and that would just be really, really weird.
I mean, yes, I don't think John and I should go on your boat together. But my question actually is interesting because I wanted to better understand if it's strangers sometimes joining your boat, because I think at the end of the day, what ends up happening, especially in the gay community, is we thrive on nudity. I think we love it. We love each other's bodies, and that does lead to other actions, connecting with each other in deeper ways and sexually and whatever. And I asked this because I met my husband at 11 p.m. on Grinder. We got naked before we ever went on our first date, and the barriers were gone. We knew what we were, that there was a connection there. Had there been success stories of people on your boat that I just met on your boat that somehow met, connected, and now are together or dated? Or because I would love to hear, like, you're almost like speed dating a little bit, right? If it's a random boat of people. And I think that's kind of interesting because you're removing the biggest barrier,
Hmm.
and that's, what does your dick look like?
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, that's the gay handshake, right?
It is the
Basically,
Right.
gay
in the gay
handshake.
world, is a dick pic or that. And simple answer is yes. I still have couples that have been created from my trips, long distance relationships, but also really good friendships, and lifelong buddies, kind of have grown out of these trips. You really, like you said, it's like speed dating or speed connecting with people. You have so much time together. You're on a boat with each other for a week, and sometimes there's kind of some adventure and a little chaos, sailing, the seas. So that also adds to the camaraderie and the bonding on the boat.
So that's cute and all, y'all, but I want to get down to the nitty gritty because we've read your blog about the magic of the BVIs, or the British Virgin Islands, and the secret spots you take your guests. So you've surely seen it all out there, but without naming names, what's the most only on a gay charter story you can share with the chosen fam? We kind of want the tea or the salt water, so to put it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I literally I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. I'm a little used to it now, I guess. But to me, it's about creating that safe space for them to be able to feel comfortable to do that sort of thing. I've had instances of other boats that are anchored next to us with Polish men in them, swimming over to our boat naked, for happy hour, and joining our crew and having a wonderful evening, of
This is what I'm here for.
adult naked time on the
Yeah.
boat.
I love
Literally
it.
comes out of the water with a bottle of poppers in his hand.
Look,
Prepared.
Yeah.
see, mermaids do exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they happen to be Polish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who I mean, Bo, on the same token, I'm sure you've had couples come on this, and has this led to, like, arguments? Because couples might join this trip thinking, "We wanna do this together," and then they realize, "Actually, this isn't for us."
There has been a little bit of that. Usually the arguments don't happen on the boat. It's usually a little bit more after the boat or when they're in
Mm,
private, like on the beach or something like that.
yeah.
You can tell the frustration between them clearly, right? You're on a small boat with each other. I've had a few divorces happen,
Yep.
or I've been told of a few divorces recently after the situation. Um, I can tell you one of those divorces, the guy has come on one of the divorcees has come on another trip with me then since and had a wonderful time and met some wonderful men. And we talked about how um, he might not have been the right person for him. Um, so
So before we go into our fun game, I have one more question because I think what's interesting is, you obviously have trips for individuals and couples and friends alike, but for that solo traveler who is researching and finds your company after hearing this and, and they're nervous and they don't know what to do. As a captain, how do you ensure that someone from our chosen fam who maybe wants to go on this, um, what would you say to them to make them feel comfortable
yeah,
to book it with you?
that's an awesome question. I get that a lot. So I always do like one-on-one calls with anybody that books with me after they've booked or even before they want to book with me. So that we have a video chat with them. I introduce myself, I get to know them a little bit and I can answer any questions that they have about the trip. Usually right there, that kind of just squashes any kind of issues that they have. And then I also talk about we do all of my trips that we do, I do a group chat a month prior to the trip starting day. Everybody can get to know each other. Everybody shares Instagrams. Everybody's literally paired up before we even get on the boat because of that. And so that also adds a level of like, oh, okay, so I'm going to have a chance to get to know everybody on the boat
Hmm.
and have a good understanding. And then I tell them, I'm married, but I'm on this trip by myself. So I'm, you always have like somebody that's kind of there in your boat. And then I always have a chef that's with me. And they're either single or they're alone anyways. So you always have people that are there that are kind of in that individuality. And I always tell them as well, if you're there as a solo traveler, that means that I'm at least going to have one other guest solo traveler because I have an even amount of people always on my trips. So if I have two, that means I'm always going to have two people, if not four people that are going to be solo travelers on my trip. So
Love that.
all of that, it usually calms people's nerves and they feel pretty comfortable about it.
Consider me on board, and I'm joining that, video chat naked too, because why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm usually
But
shirtless for those. I thought for, a viewership like yours that I should be at least a little close for my
No, Bo, your
uh,
shirt should be off.
yeah,
That is a
yeah.
must.
Yeah. I don't know why we're coming across so buttoned up, but we're really
Yeah.
not. Uh, Bo, honestly though, we could talk about speed dating and speed separating on the high seas all day, but we have a tradition here at Out Loud and Laughing. And since you spent your life navigating the tides, we want to see how you navigate some high pressure choices. It's time to drop anchor and enter the hot seat. We call this or that, the naughty and nice edition. It's time for another round of this or that, the unhinged get to know you game. So the rules are no overthinking, just the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Do you prefer a sunrise sail or sunset cocktails?
Sunset cocktails.
Sounds fun to me. And you could swim up with poppers, apparently, if you'd
Mm.
like.
I
Um,
agree.
are you a scruff or no scruff guy?
Well, I met my husband on Scruff.
There you
Ooh,
go. Congratulations. I love that story.
He was
I
one of
love
those,
that.
also one of those one night stand situations.
I know.
See,
Mine was Grinder, so there we go.
mine was grinder too, if we're going there. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes you gotta test drive a car before you buy it. That's what I think.
Absolutely. You always do.
You gotta see what's under the hood before you take it on a date. Okay.
Yes.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Are you docked in a busy port or anchored in a secluded bay?
Secluded bay.
That sounds so
Mm,
relaxing.
I mean, that makes sense based on what we've learned.
Yeah.
Do you prefer a chest or a butt?
Oh, definitely an ass man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're a drinker, but if so, is it a tequila soda or a dark and stormy?
It would be a dark and stormy out of those two options.
Beer guy.
Well, then what is if those aren't good options, Bo, what is drink of choice?
Yeah.
Well, typically just an easy drink is a Bacardi Coke.
With a lime, with any
I can
citrus?
get that everywhere, and it's tasty.
Yummy.
Okay, you're a captain on the boat, you're seeing a lot of naked bodies, hairy or smooth?
Hairy.
Yeah.
Leave it natural.
Leave
I
it as it
know.
is.
Bring
Come
the
with the
80s
flow.
back.
I like
Mhm.
a good bush. Um, are you loving it out in the deep blue sea or a little closer to shore in the shallow turquoise reefs?
Oh, turquoise reefs,
Yeah.
close to shore.
Prettier though, isn't it?
More to see, more to do. There's
Yeah.
not much to do in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, except
On
survive,
your
right?
I was gonna say on your boat, I think there is, Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but then you have seasickness that comes into play, so,
Fair,
yeah.
fair.
We like to keep
Okay,
it a little closer to shore, keep everybody comfortable.
Love that.
I agree. You gotta anchor. Okay, you're playing a baseball game, Bo. Are you pitching in the game or catching?
I'm pitching.
You heard it here, folks. Um, so when you're not on the mound, are you island hopping or are you looking for that one perfect destination?
Island hopping.
Fun. See it all. I'm into
You don't
that.
get bored.
Nope.
No,
I agree. Well, Captain Bo, thank you for bringing your energy to the show. You're doing such important work by creating spaces where I feel like our community can just kind of breathe, connect, and just kind of be ourselves. And I think that is so valuable.
Incre
appreciate that.
incredibly valuable. And so then for our chosen family members who are ready to find their sea legs, where can they find you online, check out your upcoming charters, and of course, where can they join the Naughty Daddy family?
Absolutely. I have an easy website, naughtydaddysailingco.co, or at Naughty Daddy Sailing Co. on Instagram. Really, those are the best ways to get a hold of me.
And I love the play on words that you did because it's not naughty as in like the phonetic spelling, but it's the first 5 letters of nautical, and I think that's brilliant, so well done. Nauti for all of you listening.
Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you for listening, chosen fam. Stay authentic, stay loud, and keep laughing. We'll see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.
Bye. This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.